When I first started educating people on the dangers of fatty liver, many were surprised. They had assumed that only those who drank excessive alcohol could develop liver damage. But the reality is very different. Today, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, is one of the most widespread and underdiagnosed conditions affecting adults and even children. And yes, it's entirely possible, even common, for people who never touch alcohol to end up with a sluggish, toxic liver that's overrun with fat. Fatty liver happens when excess fat builds up inside the liver cells, overwhelming the organ and disrupting its ability to filter toxins, process nutrients, and regulate metabolism. What many people don't realize is that the liver has over 500 vital functions, including regulating blood sugar, breaking down hormones, metabolizing fats, and cleansing chemicals from the bloodstream. When the liver gets clogged, everything in the body becomes slower, more inflamed, more tired. And because the symptoms start out subtle, like low energy, mild bloating, difficulty losing weight, or foggy thinking, most people ignore the early warning signs. But over time, that silent buildup becomes something far more serious. I always say, the liver doesn't scream, it whispers. And if you learn to listen to those whispers, you can reverse the damage before it becomes irreversible. So what causes fatty liver in people who don't drink alcohol? The number one offender is sugar, especially fructose. We were never designed to consume the amount of refined sugar found in modern diets. From soft drinks to snack bars, from store-bought sauces to breakfast cereals, most of what we eat is drenched in hidden sugars. And fructose, in particular, is metabolized directly by the liver, where it's quickly turned into fat. But sugar isn't the only problem. Refined carbohydrates, like white bread, pasta, and processed snacks, also spike insulin, leading to fat storage in the liver. Add to that inflammatory vegetable oils like canola, soybean, and corn oil, and you have a perfect storm of metabolic dysfunction. Another factor I often see is chronic medication use, especially painkillers, statins, and antidepressants. These drugs may be necessary for some, but over time they place a heavy burden on the liver's detoxification pathways. And finally, there's stress, yes, emotional stress, which raises cortisol and contributes to insulin resistance and liver inflammation. Here's what I want you to know. The liver is the only organ that can regenerate itself. Even if up to 70% of it is damaged, it has the ability to repair and rebuild if you remove the toxins and supply the right nutrients. This is why I focus so much on liver care in my teachings. It is the gateway to full body healing. And the healing doesn't take years. When you stop overloading it, when you give it the foods, herbs, and hydration it needs, you can begin seeing changes in just a few weeks. People tell me they feel lighter, more energetic, mentally clear, and more stable in their moods. That's because the liver isn't just about digestion. It's a hormonal and emotional filter too. In a moment, I'm going to walk you through the exact foods I recommend to clean out the liver, reduce fat accumulation, and restore balance naturally. These are not exotic or expensive ingredients. They're simple, whole foods that work in harmony with your body's design. When people ask me how to reverse a fatty liver, I always start with this. What you eat has more power than any pill. You can't heal a liver that's clogged with fat by starving it. You have to feed it the right tools. The liver responds incredibly well to real, living, nutrient-dense food. Every bite you take is either nourishing this vital organ or burdening it. My goal is to help you make the shift toward food that does the former. Let's talk now about the most effective foods I recommend to anyone trying to reverse fatty liver. These aren't trendy superfoods. They're accessible, affordable, and often already in your kitchen. Cruciferous vegetables. If there's one category of food I urge people to eat daily for liver health, it's cruciferous vegetables. Think broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, and arugula. These vegetables contain glucosinolates, which support the liver's phase 2 detoxification process, essentially helping the liver transform harmful substances into safe, water-soluble compounds that can be excreted. They're also high in sulfur, which the liver uses to neutralize toxins. I personally try to include at least one serving of these vegetables every day, either lightly steamed, sautéed, or in raw form. Garlic and onions. I never underestimate the power of garlic and onions. Both are packed with organosulfur compounds that enhance liver enzyme activity and help flush heavy metals and toxins from the body. Garlic in particular is excellent for lowering liver fat and reducing inflammation. It also helps support bile production, which is essential for breaking down fats properly. I recommend including fresh garlic in your meals daily, crushed or chopped and left to sit for a few minutes before cooking, which activates its healing compounds. Leafy greens. Another essential food group for liver regeneration is leafy greens. Spinach, chard, mustard greens, dandelion greens, and romaine are all rich in chlorophyll, magnesium, and fiber. Chlorophyll helps bind and eliminate toxins, while fiber reduces liver burden by improving bowel regularity and lowering circulating estrogen levels. I often add a big handful of raw or steamed greens to every lunch and dinner. If you're dealing with sluggish digestion or liver discomfort, starting with lightly cooked greens is gentler on the body. Avocados and healthy fats. Contrary to what some still believe, healthy fats do not worsen fatty liver. They help reverse it. The liver needs fats like omega-3s, monounsaturated fats, and phospholipids to build cell membranes and reduce internal inflammation. Avocados are particularly helpful because they are rich in glutathione, one of the liver's most powerful antioxidants, and they support bile flow. I also include extra virgin olive oil, chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts as part of a daily liver healing protocol. Root vegetables. When your liver is compromised, it's important to keep blood sugar stable. Sweet potatoes, carrots, beets, and turnips are rich in nutrients but gentle on the pancreas. They provide the kind of carbohydrates that don't spike insulin, which is crucial in reversing liver fat. Beets especially deserve attention. They increase nitric oxide, improve blood flow, and enhance liver detox. I often recommend roasted beets or raw beet salad as a staple during liver healing. Lemons and limes. Even though lemons are acidic in taste, they have an alkalizing effect on the body and help stimulate liver enzymes. I love adding lemon to meals, dressings, and warm water in the morning. Citrus fruits also support bile production and enhance the breakdown of fats. I always recommend going for organic citrus, especially if you're using the zest, to avoid pesticide residues. Apples. Apples, particularly green apples, are rich in pectin, a soluble fiber that binds to toxins in the gut and helps prevent them from being reabsorbed back into the liver. They also contain malic acid, which supports softening of gallstones and encourages smooth bile flow. I usually suggest having 1 apple a day, preferably organic and eaten with the peel intact. Nuts and seeds. While not all nuts are equal when it comes to liver health, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and Brazil nuts are excellent choices. Walnuts are high in arginine, which supports liver detox, while Brazil nuts provide selenium, a trace mineral required for the liver's antioxidant systems. I recommend keeping portions small, about a handful a day, since nuts are calorie-dense, but the right kinds are extremely beneficial. One of the fastest ways to begin reversing a fatty liver is to support your body's natural detox pathways, and nothing does that better than the right liquids. But let me be clear, I'm not talking about sugary juices or processed cleansing teas. I'm talking about targeted natural drinks that have been shown to stimulate bile flow, reduce inflammation, balance blood sugar, and gently detox the liver. Hydration isn't just about drinking water. It's about choosing drinks that help the liver flush out excess fat, mobilize toxins, and reduce internal pressure. These drinks are simple, powerful, and most importantly, they work with the body, not against it. Let me walk you through the ones I use and recommend the most. Warm lemon water. I begin every single morning with warm lemon water. It's one of the simplest yet most effective habits for liver health. The lemon provides vitamin C and citric acid, which stimulate bile production. a crucial process for breaking down and eliminating fat. It also helps alkalize the body, support digestion, and reduce liver inflammation. The warmth of the water relaxes the digestive system and flushes toxins that the liver processed overnight. I squeeze half a lemon into a cup of warm filtered water and drink it on an empty stomach. This prepares the liver for the day's workload and gently encourages fat metabolism. Dandelion root tea. Dandelion root is one of the most powerful liver cleansing herbs available. It works by stimulating bile flow, increasing urine production, and helping the liver process fats and toxins more efficiently. Dandelion tea has a slightly bitter taste, which is perfect for stimulating digestion and metabolic fire. I recommend drinking 1 to 2 cups of dandelion root tea daily, especially in the afternoon or after a meal. It's naturally caffeine-free and can be combined with lemon or ginger for added benefit. You'll likely notice less bloating, more energy, and a lighter feeling after consistent use. Green tea, the fat-melting antioxidant tonic. Green tea is rich in a powerful antioxidant called EGCG epigallocatechin gallate, which has been shown in studies to reduce liver fat, combat inflammation, and support metabolic function. I personally drink 1 to 2 cups a day, usually mid-morning or early afternoon. Choose high-quality organic loose-leaf green tea for the most benefit, and avoid sweetened or bottled varieties. You can add a slice of lemon for extra liver support. Just be careful with green tea later in the day if you're sensitive to caffeine. Cucumber mint water, gentle daily detox. If you struggle with inflammation or fluid retention, this one's for you. I like to infuse filtered water with slices of cucumber, fresh mint leaves, and a bit of lemon. Cucumber contains silica and potassium, which help flush excess sodium and reduce bloating, giving the liver and kidneys relief. It's hydrating, cooling, and especially good during hot weather or after meals. It encourages gentle detox through the urinary system while keeping liver pressure low. Plus, it tastes wonderful and encourages more consistent hydration throughout the day. Apple cider vinegar elixir, the blood sugar balancer. When used correctly, apple cider vinegar, ACV, can do wonders for your liver. It helps regulate blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and support fat metabolism, all of which are essential for reversing fatty liver. I mix 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered ACV into a large glass of water and drink it about 20 minutes before a meal. I often add a pinch of cinnamon or a drop of raw honey to soften the taste. Start slow if you're new to ACV, about a teaspoon at first, to avoid digestive irritation. Beetroot juice, circulation and bile flow booster. Beets contain betalains and nitrates, which support liver detoxification and increase blood flow to the liver. They also help with the formation of bile and reduce oxidative stress inside the liver tissue. A small glass of fresh beetroot juice, sometimes mixed with carrot and a touch of ginger, can be a powerful addition to your daily routine. But a word of caution: beets are potent. Start with a small amount, half a cup, and monitor your body's response. Some people notice immediate improvements in skin clarity, digestion, and even energy levels. Ginger and turmeric tea, the anti-inflammatory duo. Both ginger and turmeric are known for their anti-inflammatory, digestive, and liver-supportive properties. I brew them together into a soothing tea, especially in the evenings. Ginger improves circulation and helps relieve nausea or sluggish digestion, while turmeric contains curcumin, which protects liver cells and reduces fatty buildup. I slice fresh ginger and simmer it with a pinch of turmeric and black pepper. I sometimes add a cinnamon stick or a bit of honey. It's warming, comforting, and deeply healing to the liver. One mistake I see often is people overloading their liver with too many detox drinks at once. Healing isn't about force, it's about rhythm. I encourage you to start with 1 to 2 drinks daily, observe how your body feels, and rotate them weekly. When your liver feels supported, not bombarded, it begins to do what it was designed to do: detoxify, regenerate, and restore your vitality. Combined with the right foods and habits, these drinks can completely transform the way your body processes fat and energy. After years of working with people suffering from fatty liver and related metabolic issues, I've noticed a recurring pattern. People are often unknowingly doing things every day that stall liver healing, even if they've cleaned up their diet. These aren't just about what you eat, they're tied to how you live, how you rest, and how you think. And the truth is, your liver hears all of it. Let me start with one of the most damaging habits: chronic snacking. Constant eating doesn't give the liver time to rest. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates and sugars, you trigger insulin. High insulin levels promote fat storage, and much of that excess fat ends up in the liver. That's why I recommend time-restricted eating, or at least leaving 4 to 5 hours between meals to allow the liver to shift into fat-burning mode. Another lifestyle factor that's often ignored is sleep deprivation. The liver does most of its repair and detox between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., which is why I always emphasize the importance of going to bed before 10:30 p.m. If you're staying up late, especially while eating snacks or using screens, you're not just losing rest, you're disrupting the hormonal and liver regeneration cycle. Poor sleep leads to higher cortisol, more cravings, slower metabolism, and yes, worsened fatty liver. One of the fastest ways to improve liver function is to normalize your sleep rhythm. And it costs nothing, just commitment. Movement isn't just about burning calories. It stimulates circulation, improves insulin sensitivity, and encourages the lymphatic system to clear out toxins. A sedentary life, especially long hours of sitting, creates liver congestion, especially when paired with high stress. I always recommend daily walking, stretching, and gentle rebounding, if possible. Even 20 minutes of brisk walking after meals can lower blood sugar, reduce insulin spikes, and help the liver burn more fat. In traditional systems of medicine like Chinese medicine, the liver is seen as the seat of unprocessed emotions, especially anger, frustration, and resentment. I've seen this time and time again. People hold on to tension in their bodies, especially in the gut and liver area, without realizing that emotional stress becomes biochemical stress. That's why I believe emotional release is just as important as nutritional healing. This can mean journaling, counseling, forgiving yourself or others, or simply taking time to breathe deeply and let go. You can't heal a liver that's carrying everything you've ever swallowed down emotionally. Now that we've addressed the things to avoid, let me share some of the daily habits that help the liver bounce back fast. Morning sunlight. Just 10 to 15 minutes of morning light helps reset your circadian rhythm, balance cortisol, and improve metabolic function. Deep belly breathing. This stimulates the vagus nerve, reduces stress, and supports digestion, all of which help liver detox. Epsom salt baths. Rich in magnesium sulfate, they support liver enzyme activity and reduce systemic tension. Gratitude and stillness. Believe it or not, the emotional tone of your day affects how your organs function. A peaceful mind creates a peaceful body. Let me end by saying this. Your liver is one of the most intelligent organs in your body. It's not weak, it's not broken, it's simply overwhelmed, and it's asking for your help. Every small change you make, every food, every drink, every breath, either burdens or blesses this organ. You don't need expensive cleansers or complicated supplements. You need consistency, simplicity, and rhythm. Your liver doesn't need a detox kit. It needs you to stop harming it and start supporting it. And when you do, you'll feel the difference in your energy, digestion, skin, mood, and even your sleep. So take it one step at a time. Start with your morning. Start with one drink. Start with one walk. But start. Because healing doesn't happen when you're perfect. It happens when you show up daily with care.